I'm Ellen Horan, President and CEO of the Greater Reading Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and I'm here this week for our Member Spotlight with Greg Miller, who is owner of Knights Rental. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good. So I know Knights Rental has been in business for about 50 years and is located in Temple. So obviously you're not the founder of the business.
Correct.
How'd you get involved with Knights Rental?
Brief history of Knights Rental. There was actually at one time a Mr. Knight, Oliver Knight, who started it as a United Rental, which is a franchise in the rental industry. Broke away from that, made it his name, Knights Rental. And then, I'm not sure the exact date, it was either late 70s or early 80s, Mr. Knight then sold it to the Lords. It's kind of ironic in that.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. I'm not a duke or anything to progress that. But so the Lords ran it for some time, first his father and then the son. And my business partner, I do have a partner in his business, worked there. It was our summertime job in college. So after graduating college, we broke away and tried that world and found ourselves coming back and worked there for some time and finally saw the business evolving and wanted to be a part of that evolution and put a proposal to the owner. And then in 2007, we purchased the business from him.
Wow, very cool. Love those stories of people going in literally at ground level. You were probably putting up tents, hauling, driving the trucks.
Yes, we
doing
saw
everything.
the operations of it, and we knew the operations well, so of course we had to learn the business aspect.
Right.
I don't know, one's equally as hard as the other.
Right.
But it was the right opportunity, and I'm glad we made the move.
Good, excellent. Now I'm probably most familiar at the chamber. We've used the tents, and we've also used pipe and drape. But you're actually much more extensive in your rental lines. Why don't you tell a little bit about the range of what you have to offer?
We are. We try to be a one-stop party, and with that is, of course, the tents, the tables, the chairs, the china, the linens, the glassware, and a variation of all those, variation of linens, variation of tables. We offer delivery and setup service as well throughout the county and the surrounding area.
How far do you deliver? What's your market?
Well, it depends on the time of the year. If someone calls and says, I need one table in June and I live in King of Prussia, I would probably say it's better served for me and for them to find somewhere closer. But typically speaking, if it's a large event, even during the busy season, we'll find ourselves in Schuylkill County as far as Lehighton area, Northern Berks for sure, Lehigh County we'll get to. Not so much east. Philadelphia is kind of a market of its own. Reading seems close on the map, but from a consumer standpoint, we're pretty far apart.
So we're going to try and get 222 North fixed up for you so that you can service those areas a little better.
That would be great.
Yeah.
For a lot of people.
We're working on that.
Yes.
Good. Well, I also saw on your webpage that you rent some things I wouldn't have thought of, like carnival games, like a dunk machine. Like, who doesn't want to dunk their boss?
Yeah. Carnival games do well for us. We rent a lot of helium. I guess we sell the helium, but rent the tanks. Kind of odd things like that. Certainly, if anybody's looking and just browsing the website's the way to go.
Right.
Yeah. To see
well,
what
like you said,
offer.
that one-stop shop. If you're throwing a big party, it's great to be able to go to one place to get what you need rather than having to make multiple calls. I even saw you had a red carpet.
We do. Red carpet's kind of new to our inventory. We got a lot of calls for it, and of course, it's always where do you put the money? And you look at the call volume of items you do not have, and the red carpet does well for us, yes. And stanchions, separating the crowd control type of ropes, the burgundy velvet ropes, and so there are some different things out there that people might not know about.
So what are your biggest markets? Is it weddings? Is it corporate parties? Is it parties in people's homes?
That's a great question. I think the most consistent market for us is weddings. Of course, when the economy went south, we felt it as well. from the corporate standpoint, for sure. Corporate picnics, corporate parties, it was an easy thing for corporations to eliminate. Weddings are not so easy to eliminate. The number and size went down. You used to hear 250, 300. So that's cut in half. So you do notice that. So we felt it that way, but I would say, pardon me, weddings, the most consistent business.
Okay. And you know what, that makes sense to me, because I hear young people trying to really think about a unique venue to have their wedding at. And so it might not be in a traditional hall that would have all of the tables and linens and china and all of that. So that makes sense to me. Yep. Is there an event that you've done in the recent past that you're particularly proud of, either by the scope or the quality of the work, that maybe you can share to give an example?
Well, we still are a big player at the Kutztown Folk Festival. Which takes place in late June, early July. They changed it maybe by a day or two to get a couple weekends in there. So that's always good. We do about 80 plus tents at one location. So that's a pretty nice ongoing event for us and for the community too.
Yeah, neat. Any tips you want to give brides of cool venues that you've run across lately?
There's many in Berks County.
Yeah.
There's many to choose from, more and more, and there's a lot of good ones. So I don't want to sell one over the other. If I was going to make a pitch one way or the other, the tented wedding is the way to go.
Yeah,
of course.
Of course.
Yeah. But there are some wonderful venues in Berks County.
Now, having taken over a business from working in the business, how are you balancing working on the business, as we like to say?
Good question. It's tough, specifically from a small business perspective. You have to wear a lot of hats. It's very difficult for me to say, I'm the owner, I'm the manager. If the trash is full, I have to empty it.
Some days you're the delivery guy.
And some days, certainly, I'm the delivery guy. So I'm always evolving and looking for management skills and resources to use, and talking to people that may be in business to find out the way that they do it and implement those. So it's constantly evolving for me.
Interesting. That's one of the things we found at the Chamber, is that people are looking at more and more for peer interaction. I think they want very practical advice on how to work on their business. So that's something that we're seeing as an increased demand at the Chamber. So
yeah.
Well, is there anything else you would like to say to the Chamber members about Knights Rental?
I'm hoping that some of them were customers of
sure.
ours, not just the Chamber itself, but some of the members of the Chamber. So thank you for that. Hope to see them at some upcoming Chamber events. And there's a lot of good resources at the Chamber that we've used, and very good for small business. One quick tip I would give them: human resources. From a human resource, the Chamber has a lot to offer as far as human resource information, and from a small company, it's very difficult to be compliant on the basis that the rules are always changing.
Right.
And of course, we don't have the funds or the resources to have a human resource department. So if there's questions on minimum wage or insurance, which more and more insurance, compliancy, it's a good avenue and resource to use. Calling someone at the Chamber. Yeah.
We try and be the one stop when it comes to business resources and connections. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, thank you for coming today and sharing the story of Knights Rental.
Great, thanks.